Hi all, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about an exclusive interview that Gannon Stauch's stepmom gave to Crime Online on February 27th of 2020, giving more details about what she did on January 27th, the day Gannon went missing. She also explains the rumors around the rental car that we have all been hearing so much about. I think it's important for YouTubers to keep talking about Gannon and to keep his name in everyone's minds as much as possible so no one forgets that he's still missing, even though we aren't receiving regular updates on the search for him. Although Gannon was initially reported as a runaway, his status changed to missing and endangered quickly once his age of 11 years old and that local weather conditions were taken into consideration. Gannon was reported missing by his stepmother, Leticia Stock, who he was home alone with before she says he left to go to a friend's house and never returned. Those of us who have been following the case are familiar with the video footage provided by a neighbor that appeared to show Gannon getting into a truck with his stepmom and leaving on the day that he went missing. But reports about what exactly happened that day after they left the house have not been very detailed. The neighbor who provided the surveillance footage claims that he watched Leticia Stock return to the home that day on the footage, but that Gannon never got out of the truck. In the interview, Leticia disagrees with that accusation. She says that she specifically remembers giving Gannon a bag to hold in the truck in case he got sick, and that there's another footage clip showing the truck parked in front of the house with Gannon getting out with a bag in his hand. She claims it was the same day because he's wearing the same clothes. She says she thinks the neighbor got the dates of his security footage mixed up because her daughter came home and parked in the same spot about 4:30 that day, and they both couldn't have been parked in the same place. Now, I haven't seen the footage of Gannon getting out of the truck when they returned home, but Crime Online claims that it was aired on Fox 31 Denver. Leticia goes on to say that she realizes that it looks bad for her that the trail leading to Gannon ends with her, but stresses that she did not do anything to hurt him. She made the statement, "Something is not right. I'm so mad. They've spent all this time and haven't found him. Why? Because they are chasing me." I wonder, and I'm sure many of you are as well, how she could just let 11-year-old Gannon leave home to go to a friend's house without even asking him where he was going. She said Gannon stayed home from school that day that he went missing because his medication gave him stomach problems and he had an accident in his pants, so he stayed home to avoid any embarrassment at school. I understand that, but if he was having stomach problems and she was concerned that he needed a bag in case he got sick in the car, then why did she feel it was okay to take him out to run errands instead of letting him stay home to rest? If he was worried that he might have an accident at school, wouldn't he also be worried that he would have an accident at a friend's house? Her story doesn't add up to me. She goes on to explain that she drove her husband's truck that day because he was out of town for work and she was trying to keep the miles on her leased car low. She said she also took it to load up sports equipment in the back to take it to play against sports to exchange for hockey equipment for Gannon. Then they went to Castle Rock to look for a new bike for Gannon's dad. She said she did leave her phone at home that day, but that she wore an Apple Watch so her movements can be tracked. Which is strange because she mentions that her movements that day may seem odd because she took back roads that morning. How convenient. She claims that she got lost taking these back roads and had to turn around. So I guess she's trying to justify that her travels were out of the ordinary the day Gannon went missing, but we're not to worry because she had nothing to do with his disappearance. So Gannon's not feeling well. He's having accidents in his pants and he's feeling like he may be sick. But she's running this child all around town exchanging sports equipment and shopping for a bike. And these things couldn't have waited until Gannon felt better? In the second part of the interview, Leticia addresses the rental car rumor. She admits she rented a car on Tuesday, January 28th, the day after Gannon disappeared, and this is the explanation she offers. She said she picked Gannon's dad up at the airport Tuesday morning when she rented the car, and they left the airport together in the rental car. She said the plan was to look for Gannon in a car that he would not recognize. What? I'm sorry, but that just sounds so strange to me. She said they were concerned that he might hide if he saw their car because he would think he was in trouble. This concerns me. Granted, I don't know Gannon's behavior, But if they thought he ran away while he was sick and thought he would hide from their car if he saw them, then how scared was this child of his parents? What was going on in that home that would make them think that he would run away? Oh, and she added that a rental car was more economical and easier since they would be going door to door to look for Gannon, but yet they only had the rental car for one day. None of this sounds right to me. This child is so afraid of being in trouble that they have to rent a car so that he won't recognize them when they search for him. I find that very disturbing. Then she goes on to say that she voluntarily took a lie detector test and passed, although Sergeant Minat of El Paso County PD says that she's not aware of any lie detector tests being taken in this case. I don't like what I'm hearing in this interview. I will link both parts for you in the description box below so you can decide how you feel about it. I don't feel that she's telling the whole truth. I find it hard to believe that she would chance taking Gannon out to run errands if he was not feeling well. It just doesn't add up to me. I could be wrong, but I don't think her explanations make sense. And her husband, Gannon's dad, was awfully quick to accuse her when Gannon went missing. Something's not being said in all this. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I think the more Leticia talks, the stranger this case gets. Please join me in praying that Gannon is found safe. It has been a month since he went missing, and it's time for him to come home. As always, thank you for watching and subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you on my next video.